Hello again, Laurence here on Monday the 28th of June, and I love it because Wimbledon started. Fantastic. It's been hammering it down, as you always expect, which is great, isn't it? Tradition at Wimbledon, so good. And, I always get reminiscent. I brought my old racket out, but in my day, the rackets were made, the strings were made out of catgut, so I have to keep it away from Fluffy, because she gets upset. Maybe that she recognises, it's part of a relative or something. I don't know. But she doesn't like them. And I have to keep it away from her. But it's just great the tennis has started. Now, obviously, in my day, they were wood, these rackets, But they're now made of, I don't know, titanium or some other super metal or something. But they're very, very strong and very, very light. You won't get John McEnroe being able to smash his racket now like he used to, with those wooden ones. And he'd go on a temper and he'd have a tantrum and he'd smash it, I think he married somebody called Tantrum. I don't know if that's coincidence, but he'd smash his racket. That was his way. But you couldn't do that these days. And it was all right for him, because he had another bag full of identical rackets. But if you followed his example, his lead, and went down to the park and you smash your racket in a tantrum trying to be John McEnroe, you were snookered. Well, you couldn't play on, could you, unless somebody had lent you a racket. But who's going to do that when they've just seen you smash one, So it was a catch-22, really. But as I say, fantastic Wimbledon, and great to see Andy Murray back. I mean, isn't it fantastic? Playing that this Georgian lad, It's great to see him back after all his with his new hip and stuff, Yeah, it's great to be back at Wimbledon. I'm really happy and excited, People say he's miserable, but he's not. He's just dour, isn't he? And not very cheerful. But that's his way, He's a great player. And he played in an era. He's played in this amazing era of tennis. You've got the best three probably of all time, haven't you? Your Djokovic's and Nadal's and Federer. And at one time, he made up the Fab Four, didn't he, Murray? It was like, the Beatles, and he was probably Ringo. He was Howard in Take That or whatever when they were a foursome, But a fantastic time for tennis. What's not so fantastic is what's happened with Matt Hancock. What a silly man Matt Hancock's been, it's like having a snog behind the bike shed, isn't it, Very childish, very, very silly. And why didn't he keep his mask on? That way it'd have been all right. Plus, it would have made sure he kept his tongue in so he wasn't spreading COVID, But no, instead he's like, lurching all over his head, isn't he? Like, you can see those pictures, he's all over, he's going in for the grope, and, well, his position was described as untenable. But Boris Johnson said he should have been left to finish the job off. Well, this young lass might not have wanted that, she probably didn't want to go any further, so it's all very unsavoury, really, I think. And then you've got this government inquiry as to why these highly classified documents about Russia were found behind a bus stop in Kent. And there's a real, to-do about it all, kicking up a fuss. But I think it's genius, There's no way those Russian spies would have been looking behind that bus stop for those documents. So there's no way. If they are over here, they're more likely to go into Salisbury or somewhere. I watched this programme, those two fellas who came over last time were really taken by the cathedral, they love that city. So behind a bus stop in Kent was probably perfect, that's the way I think anyway. But as I said, they are kicking up a fuss. And what else is happening in the news? Well, poor old Britney Spears, she's upset because, she's not control of her own finances, her own money. And, I do understand that, with the wife. She gets the credit card, and I don't see it for weeks. And all I see at the end of it, is an overdrawn statement or something, and, or we've spent too much, and it's just a case of, oops, I've done it again, But, no, I don't think it's very good for Britney Spears. And then, of course, we've got this fantastic match on Wednesday, and on Tuesday, tomorrow. Great match. Everybody's talking about it. England versus Germany. Almost inevitable, really. And I don't know where this great rivalry comes from, I don't know. Well, apart from 2 world wars, perhaps. But everybody will be watching it. That and Wimbledon is great. Obviously, there'll not be much play at Wimbledon with all the rain, So far, Cliff Richards hasn't sung. And I wonder whether the organisers, you know, want to bring it more up to date and get somebody like James Arthur to do. I don't know. It might not be. But it's great. Loads of sport on, loads of good stuff. Take care. Let's fingers crossed for England and everybody else. Oh, and by the way, the new world number one at tennis, not world number one, British number one, is Dan Evans. It's not Murray, you know, because he's been away. Now, we've had Hemman Hill and we've had Murray Mound. So what we're going to have, like, you know, Evans Earthworks? I don't know. Let's watch this space. See you next week. Take care.